Board.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to kick off this meeting by introducing everyone. My name is Keen Mubarak, and I'm joined by everyone here. So here we have Elizabeth Hensley, who is the timestamp, Ali Wilmot, who is here recording, Matthew Evans, which is our note taker, and Amari Daniel, who is doing our conclusion today. So we started off by looking at Mid City Bank, which had a big problem.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at it and looking at all of the things that are going on right now. It kind of looks like we're having a little lack of personal touch to their banking experience for the customers. They're deciding to close accounts and take out less loans because of their new organized operating system that are now taking phone calls and all of the messages from customers. It doesn't seem that the customers are too happy about this change after they were really slow to get into that technological field. So we're kind of looking at what can we do to make sure that these customers are not only feeling prioritized, but also letting the bank run efficiently.
Yeah, I agree. I would say it's having a lot of problems because the system's very difficult to use. It seems like a lot of the people who work there are like struggling to use it, which is causing it to not operate efficiently and making customers upset about it.
I agree. And then also, Mid-City Bank is known for having like a traditional conservative type of like branding. And so they're known as like the hometown bank. And so for them to be introducing this new communication technology, it's kind of like new for like the customers and account holders that have been there for so many years. And so it's like having to get used to something just totally brand new.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of brings us to what we're here today for. We're just trying to figure out how can we not only help Mid-City Bank become more efficient and keep up with the times, but also how do we keep the customers wanting to continue to come to their small hometown bank and be able to make sure that they feel like their priorities are being recognized not by a computer, but by a personalized touch of the bank.
Hmm.
So that kind of leads us into what we're doing. Let's kind of think about what do we need? What is our criteria that we need to be able to hit on our solutions for this bank?
Yeah, so as I kind of went over the case study and kind of was able to analyze the problem, many of it kind of the sales and the profits very just they all fell short within the 2 months that the systems was installed. So as you can see, it just kind of declined as that came through.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the main things that we need to focus on in terms of just obviously the elephant in the room per se, of the main problem here is that the customers are feeling that lack of personal touch that they would normally get with a regular bank teller when they would come into the bank. Like it sounds like they chose to come there a lot to actually get that personal face-to-face interaction, where now they're kind of feeling like they're being discounted or that they don't matter as much now because of the new operating system.
Hmm. I think we really need to focus on making sure we have consistent customers and like keeping our regulars since we lost a lot of them after the new system. I think we need to try to figure out how to bring them back and keep people consistently.
And I mean, yeah, if this problem does end up continuing with this automation and the way they installed it, the bank will end up losing all its loyal customers and whoever banks there
Mhm.
on a regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe even making sure that we're keeping that efficiency as well, though, because they implemented that system for a reason. We are in a new day and age where technology is running the course of a lot of things now. We need to make sure that there is still a happy medium where bank tellers and receptionists are not getting overwhelmed by consistent callers, or maybe we can make sure that they are getting the correct, experience, but also keeping the bank, moving at the same pace that it needs to be able to like stay up on top of it. Is there any other criteria that we think that need to be added in our, search for a solution?
I do believe that one criteria that's super important is kind of referring back to what she said is kind of the solution of where you're adding technology and the human interaction, which makes it a lot easier for people to use it as technology gets more advanced and it kind of gets harder. And for the older generation, besides the younger generation that knows to use it, the older generation kind of needs more of a stepping stone to be able to use it more efficiently. So I believe it needs to be a
Mhm.
lot done a lot easier for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you think we'll be able to help them learn how to do it?
Yeah. Oh, Kian, do you want to go?
Oh no, you got it.
Okay. One of my ideas, when kind of looking at, both sides of it, obviously seeing the bank side, which is efficiency and trying to, attract that younger generation, but also keep their current customers happy, but also making sure that they're using that efficiency, but then looking at the customer side and making sure that they're feeling, heard. I was thinking that maybe there should be a specific, de like a department or a few people that are strictly using that technology, like maybe a better filtration system of like getting to the correct department for especially for like complaints or questions and things like that that are answered at a more timely manner by real human, workers. So that way the customers are getting, hitting that voicemail, hitting that, line, leaving a message about what's going on, and then they're getting a personal phone call from a human to actually talk about that issue. I think that that would be a way to not only filter out the customers that have the questions that could get an easy answer from a human, but also helpful for the older generations that might not know how to use technology. Um, Keeping that where that, technological error that we do seem to have with technology taking over, being corrected by a human, human compassion.
Yeah.
I just
That
wanted
would,
to add also to that that something that would be very useful would be to add a training part
Mhm.
component to it for the staff to be able to explain the system to clients and personally kind of help them out if they're struggling. And as if the staff doesn't know what they're doing and the customers don't either, then it'll drag the customer to just go somewhere else that's a lot easier.
I
yeah.
think it's very important that our employees know like what they're doing so that they can answer those questions without making it more difficult for the customer.
Yeah.
I
I
agree as
think
well. And I think that you know, when account holders feel that, the people that they're working with and entrusting their money with know the system, then they'll feel like more confident in the system and know that, their money is being taken care of wisely. And so because of that, I think that there should be like a survey sent out to customers. Maybe they feel like if they have some buy-in and input in the system, and then they're able to say, okay, this is an accessible system. I feel comfortable with it. Then Mid-City Bank, like the employees will be able to have confidence in themselves and say, okay, we can make a change to this by getting, customer feedback. So if we can send out some surveys, I think that would be, a smart investment.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
like that.
I agree.
I also think if we're talking about, so we've been really talking about like, the workers side of it, employees, training, departments, but I also think there probably should be incentives for current customers that have stayed with them for like, stayed with them for this long. There needs to be some incentives, maybe some like,
Better
better
loan
interest,
rates.
yeah, loan rates,
Yeah.
interest rates, maybe some more incentives for them to stay loyal, but also maybe want to bring more people back to, mid city. I think that could also be like a customer engaging model of trying to make sure that they're also feeling rewarded as well, but like monetary, right? Money does talk. So I think that that could help in some of the, customer turnover.
We could
Mhm.
possibly also have a advertising event or something like that
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Maybe get involved with the schools, maybe like
Yeah.
sponsor some sports teams to
Mhm.
give back into the community as well. That would also make them that small town feel again.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely do agree.
So now that we have quite a good list of, solutions that we could kind of implement, do you guys want to go ahead and like let's start looking, see which one might be the best one for Mid-City, especially, given
hmm
all of the criteria that we've already previously stated and the main problem at hand. I think we need to go ahead and start looking at those.
I think something that would benefit them very highly would kind of just be giving out incentives. That's my personal opinion, just because of the fact that loans are getting a little bit much, and everyone in the United States kind of needs loans, and kind of interest rates also help, just because of the fact that as you go, you're going to go get a loan regardless, whether you're 25, whether you're 40. And I believe that giving a better interest rate, getting a better loan rate will attract you to go there more than to a bank that's going to give you a 5%, 6% interest rate, 6% loan rate to get that loan when you could get maybe a 3% at this bank to attract more customers.
Yeah,
Well, I think go ahead, you can go.
sorry. I honestly think that the, having its own department that would be able to answer questions a lot faster and get back to the customers with a personalized touch would probably fit all of our criterias, because we're still staying efficient by not, bothering all of our other bank tellers and people that are actually, on that money side of it, where we have a dedicated team that's their job is to consistently answer questions and reach out to customers. But you're also like keeping that customer relations that they're looking for out of the bank, but also making sure that the older demographics and the younger demographics are also like the youngers are going to probably go toward the technology side, whereas the older generation is going to want to have somebody that they can talk to. I think that it does fit a lot, like all of our criterias down to it, but it also isn't going to be an extreme, issue to,
So
use.
definitely to add also like a like how you said different department, but also add a direct contact option instead of having to speak to a robot, speak to an AI. So I would say definitely adding
Yeah.
that, which is also going to make it more affordable and more effective to build more relations for people to come back.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
worth those employees to keep the customers happy and wanting them to continue to come back and do business with like us, but also attract new customers as well that maybe are getting tired of that technology side from other banks. They're gonna see like, wait a minute, Mid-City has those people that I can talk to. I feel comfortable. Let me switch my business to them. I think that it could definitely be worth the extra salaries of two, maybe three employees to be able to attract hundreds of customers back into the bank.
I
Yeah,
agree as well. And I was also going to say, just real quickly, if we think about like the four principal officers, we have like four different opinions across the spectrum on if the technology should stay. But I think having like a hybrid that allows for both, keeping the in-person live tellers that we have while also incorporating the technology, it allows for like a mix. So like we're covering all the bases. And also $200,000 has already been spent to install this program. And so we might as well keep it and not have to,
Yeah.
get rid of it and cost more money and resources.
So yeah, so it looks like we found a pretty good solution for our problem. Definitely excited to see what we can do with that.
Yeah. So I feel as Mid-City Bank new communication system was meant to improve efficiency, but instead it hurt the customers' relationships and reduced profits. But the main issue was that the system was replaced by personal service customers that value the automatic technology. And I think as a result of this, for the long time, clients felt disconnected and moved their accounts elsewhere. But I think we could fix this by balancing the technology with personal interactions, such as adding a live customer support and training employees to provide better services throughout the new systems. Um, by efficiency with personal touch, Mid-City can rebuild trust and restore its reputation as a true hometown bank. And I just want to thank everyone for taking their time and taking their part and being in this meeting and contributing your ideas for Mid-City Bank's future success.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
you.
All right.